As the baby boomers age, a large portion of our population is moving into a new and often difficult time in life. In 2008, Senior Helpers opened with a commitment to help people remain independent and at home for as long as they desire.
We started Senior Helpers to provide care in the home to help seniors remain independent and at home as long as they would like to. There weren't a lot of options out there. A lot of times when somebody's realizing that they're needing assistance, they think that assisted living or a nursing home is their only option. Where here we provide the assistance that they need in their home where they're most comfortable, and they're able to age in place. And that's our goal, is to help folks stay home as long as they want to.
Senior Helpers is locally owned and operated. The co-owners, Debbie and Matt Miller, Stephen Ferrari, and Doug Weaver, are highly involved in the day-to-day operations and are committed to maintaining the personal touch they believe will ensure each of their clients will receive the highest level of care.
The major contributor to the success of Senior Helpers is our commitment to quality. And both the quality of client care that we provide for our clients and also the level of service that we provide to the clients' families. For example, we answer the phone 24 hours, 7 days a week at Senior Helpers. And we've chosen not to use an answering service. It's always by a staff member of our company, and you're likely to talk to one of the owners.
Senior Helpers is able to maintain this high level of care by promising each client 6 things. Number 1, caregiver introduction and orientation. Number 2, follow-up calls to client, family, and caregiver. Number 3, weekly follow-up with family. Number 4, monthly supervisory visits. Number 5, 24/7 on-call supervisor. Number 6, dementia-trained specialists. Senior Helpers provides a variety of services to enhance the quality of life of the seniors they serve.
We do something that's fairly unique in the industry, which is called a client orientation. Every time somebody new comes into the house, whether it's the day one that they started as a new client, or we bring in a new caregiver on day 30, someone from the office takes that caregiver there and orients them to the client. And what that does is that enables the client, first of all, for it to be a warm visit. And they know that the company is letting the caregiver know exactly what needs to be done.
We can provide companion care for our clients, which can include things like light housekeeping, meal planning, meal preparation, laundry, running errands, taking the client to run errands, doctor's appointments, beauty shop, those types of things. So we can provide as little or as much service as the client needs.
Ms. Roberta Zusen knows firsthand how Senior Helpers can enhance one's life. She discusses the relationship she has developed with her senior helper.
Having a good rapport with my helper, and she's not only a helper, but she's a friend, and we get along very well together. It's almost like a marriage. Whatever I'm thinking, she seems to pick it up, and she knows exactly what I want to do. So it really has worked out well. I just love her to pieces, and I'm so glad that she's my helper.
To ensure the senior can live safely in their home, it is important to determine exactly what their needs are. The experienced and caring Senior Helper staff will do just that. What sets Senior Helpers apart is the fact that they actually have highly trained licensed social workers who are care managers.
Prior to working for Senior Helpers, I actually worked at a local rehab center as a social worker, and I got to know the Senior Helpers owners and the staff, and I was able to really see what Senior Helpers was all about. And so I got to see the services and the quality of care that they provided, a range of services that no other company offers. And just knew that it was a company I wanted to work for.
We are trained clinically. We're able to do assessments, we're able to provide support, we're also able to provide resources. So a social worker works very holistically. We look at the client, their family, and their environment, what we need to do to meet their needs.
Once the initial home visit and evaluation has been done, the Senior Helper team gets together to match the client with the caregiver that is best suited to the client's personality and needs.
A specific process on how we match caregiver with client. What we do is we take all the information that's done on an assessment, which the assessment takes about a half an hour to 45 minutes depending on the question, and it's about 10 pages long. And we bring all that information back, and that information ranges from what they need functionally all the way to what they like personally. And we share that with the people in the office, the 2 schedulers, the HR manager, the vice president of operations, and they all look at that information and who is available at that time, and then they match the caregiver to the person's needs. It's an art form, it really is. It's not a science. And that's how we choose caregiver to client.
I think what our clients enjoy most about our service is they become really strong companions. In many cases, it's almost like a grandparent-grandchild relationship. They spend a lot of time together. They can play board games, cards, checkers. You know, whatever an elderly person likes to do, we try to find caregivers that can help them, enjoy their hobbies. Our caregivers are there not to only meet their physical needs, but their emotional needs as well.
Shirley's great. We're both born under the same sign. We're Sagittarians, and we think alike, and we finish each other's sentences, and we get along just fine. We laugh all the time.
Senior Helpers goes to great lengths to ensure that the caregivers are thoroughly screened and trained.
Well, one thing that sets us apart is we do require a caregiver to have experience. She has to have a proven track record working in a supervised situation, whether it be an assisted living facility, nursing home, rehab center. They have to have proven themselves. Then we do very extensive criminal background checks. We do jurisdiction, state, and also national background checks. We check all of the national registries, elder abuse, drug abuse. Our caregivers have to have a good driving record even, because a lot of situations we are driving our clients. And we just have a zero tolerance for anything on their background.
Mrs. Ruby Hill was referred to Senior Helpers by a social worker while she was in a rehab center following a stroke. She was fearful about going home because she was not sure how she would be able to take care of herself.
Oh, it would have been impossible. I would have had to, I would have had to impose on my family and have someone come and, take care of me for that period of time. Yes, definitely Senior Helpers has improved my quality of life because they've made it feel like that, I can adjust and that I can motivate and get around and do things. It's helped my spirit, knowing that I have someone there to watch after me and help me get back into the groove of things, So it's Senior Helpers has been great that way.
Dementia and Alzheimer's disease is often one of the most difficult things for families to deal with. Senior Helpers specializes in helping their clients stay safely and comfortable in their home.
We specialize in Alzheimer's and dementia care. We identified a need in the community that people were struggling on how to care for their loved ones that have Alzheimer's and dementia.
Every single caregiver we hire has to go through an Alzheimer's and dementia orientation and training process. After they go through that process, they have to pass an exam to demonstrate their proficiency.
It's a real void that we feel in the community with providing Alzheimer's and dementia care for our clients.
We often forget how difficult the aging process can be on the one providing care to the senior. Senior Helpers can benefit the entire family by providing relief to the caregiver.
This is a very good option when there is a couple and there may be one spouse that is needing more assistance than the other, but because the spouse is aging as well, it's difficult to do a lot of the personal care and the hands-on care that's required. And so this is a wonderful option for that spouse to have somebody come in and do the difficult things, the things that are very physically taxing, and then we become the caregivers and the spouse can be the spouse.
They take so much work off of you, and they do it with such a loving heart toward him. And that's the biggest thing, because when they ask me, what do you really want a caregiver to do? And I said, I want him to be good to my husband.
One of the things that people don't understand is that caregivers, family caregivers, and you can read many articles online, get sick prior to finishing care for their loved one. And it's the stress associated with it. When we start and we start taking care of their loved one, it's an instant relief that they know that that person's going to be safe and well cared for.
Senior Helpers caregivers do what they do because they love helping elderly people maintain their dignity and independence.
A lot of our caregivers, this is their ministry. And that's the neat thing that Matt and I came to realize when we started the business was, wow, we're providing this opportunity for all of these people who this is their ministry to serve seniors. Our caregivers will say that. They'll say, God put me on the earth to do this. And so we put in a position to enable them to carry out their ministry, and that is very, very satisfying to us.
If your family is struggling with a transition from independent living to dependent living, Senior Helpers is the answer.
No, Senior Helpers has been a blessing, really. Anybody that needs help like I did should really consider it, because it is really good.
Oh, by all means, do it. You'll have freedom, you'll have company, you'll have somebody who's caring and will take care of you. And whatever you want, they'll do for you. She'll say to me, well, what are we going to do today?